Welcome to the Rugby 100 Club. I'm here with Brock Gallagher. We're about to get down, do a little podcast action, man. Thanks for making time, bro.
No, man. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to some good old chats and some banta.
Right? Oh, man. I didn't even cue it up. I should have queued up with pictures of you at the first engagement back in January when we did the meet and greet. And dude, you were smiling from earlobe to earlobe. You were digging it. It was fun.
No, man. That's how I like to roll. The smile. You can always tell where I am. It's either my hair is going crazy or I'm literally walking around and my teeth are always like this. Or my girlfriend likes to say I got an underbite. So it's just like I'm just stuck around like this. It's like I'm the happiest person alive. I can just be casual smiling.
That's good, man. Especially when the woman's picking on you. You know it's good.
Yeah, it has to be right. Like I know I'm doing something right. She tries to do it to make fun of me, but I feel like it's a compliment disguised as a diss.
At least he's not scared. Love it. I
No,
love.
man.
I've been looking forward to interviewing you for a hot minute, man. To say the least. Interacting with you on and off the pitch has been a blast. You know, all I can do is hope that you're going to stick around for a little while. But even if you're not, definitely going to be watching you as you make some more strides in your career.
It's been awesome. Like it's like the same thing like in Dallas with the Jackal Den guys. Like it's just great to like interact with such great fans, especially people like yourself that are just so involved in the game in America. And it helps the growth too. Like it's not just players and like staff and personnel. Like it really does matter with like the OG core fan base are the big drivers and getting more fans out and it shows and it's everything. There's only so much we can do and perform. But if we ain't got voices on the outside coming in, there's how's the game gonna grow? So like having people like yourself and having these chats is kind of a big part. And I think it's like a part that goes kind of under the radar in a way as far as growing the game, especially in America. So it's awesome. And it's obviously a great character like yourself, always out of the games, yelling, we know where you are. And it's a great chatting too. It's always good. And it's never even about rugby. Sometimes it's about life and shit. And it's just like, it's awesome because it can be treated like players and fans can just be treated as like just normal encounters instead of just being seen as player fan and just where it's more like we know each other on first name basis like it's Brock Matt, it's just nothing different. So
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for being a fan, and I'm a fan. You know what I mean? Like we're fanboying together. Here we go. It's all good, man. It's can't ask for better, to be honest with you. Because like when guys are approachable like yourself, it makes rugby grow as well. So like throwing it back at you, not as you know, not all players are willing to get in front of the camera. Not all players are really excitable to interact with fans. They're just in their heads, being shy, not sure if they're going to say or do the right thing. It's appreciated that you just take the risk and just go with it. Know that you're going to do the best and interact with hooligans like me.
oh, it's great like I said, and it's a skill again, like you said, people are shy and some people don't know what you say, but it's again it's a social skill and it's a skill amongst itself. And like I said, like there's a lot of times after games where it's just heat of the moment and like stuff and it's a good change up. And like honestly there's no other game like other than rugby that allows fans and like athletes to kind of get that close and connected together and like have that opportunity. Like you can't get that in the NHL, you don't get that in the NFL, you don't get that in the NBA, and like you mostly see it in rugby where fans can interact and where it's such a communal game in the way it's just like having these ideas and you just like have a shoot the shit with a said player or a said fan, and it just like it grows the game and just shows that rugby is more than just a sport. And like people say rugby is like brotherhood, family, and other things, but like then fans become family and like things like that where it's just never ending relationships that grow past your playing career and it just turns into a thing where you know people all over the world and then it just connections and stuff. Like it's one of those things you got to latch on to. And I think as a young player coming up or even players that do still kind of shy away from it, it's a big thing that you should probably pick up as well as far as that, because connecting and having those people that you can rely on from other places around the world is very big and very massive in this game. And it may not even be when you're not playing. If you need something else is work related or life related, like it can come back in 5, 10 years time and really help you and way you wouldn't actually, picture it to. So it goes past the game. It's bigger than the game because the game will always move. No matter how old you are, the game will always move past you. It's like one of those things. You're when you're playing, you're renting the jersey. You don't own it, and so it's good to like build those relationships and have those connections because those will last a lifetime. So
That's I like that. You're renting the jersey. That's good, bro. That's good. Like that's a quote, rock quote right there. I like that. That's
yeah,
good.
I'm pretty sure I stole it off somebody, but it kind of just came to my head. I was like, oh, this might be sound pretty smart of me,
I love it, man. Well, hey, I'm going to kick this off with one question to start it off with. We got 6 questions, and then of course, you and I will fill in the gaps because Lord knows you and I both like the gaps. So here we go. And those
Yeah,
watching,
always.
this may not be your 15-minute podcast that you may or may not be hoping for. So buckle down, come back later, finish it, whatever you got to do. Do us a solid though. Share it with your friends. Let them know about Brock, man. He's coming up, dude. This guy, you got to watch this guy. He's fun to watch, and you'll get a little bits and pieces here as we move forward. So, Brock, what inspired you to pursue the career in rugby, and then what made you like first get into the sport? Like,
Um,
what made you get
well,
into rugby?
maybe.
Pursue it as a profession? Like, why?
Uh, that's crazy, especially coming up from Canada. Like, the major sport is either hockey, lacrosse, maybe some basketball, maybe some football. But yeah, no, I just started off as a stereotypical Canadian kid, man. Like, grew up playing hockey, was literally born on skates, pretty much. Literally, when I came straight out the womb, it was skates, was in ice and all that. Literally, my dad was fully into that. But like honestly, I think the biggest thing that helped me is that both my mom and my dad are rugby fanatics. Like they grew up playing rugby. Like my mom was a lock back in the day. Like she played provincial rugby. It was playing high level. My dad played provincial rugby. He was a scrum half growing up. Played in high school. Played club for years, and that's kind of how my parents met. My dad was my mom's coach back in the day. It sounds weird, but it wasn't that big of an age gap. But like, so my dad ended up coaching my mom, and that's kind of how they met, and they kind of created their relationship and their life. And I think it was kind of like obviously growing up, like I played rugby a little bit, like I was like 5 or 6, but it was flag. And then I was like, I grew up playing hockey, lacrosse, and like I used to box and I was Irish dancing at the same time. Like I did a lot of contact. And then when I got into rugby, it was all flag and touch. And I'm like, I hate this. This is so boring. You can't hit anything. You can't do anything. And so I stopped playing. And then I was playing, going through the life, playing hockey, doing all the things that normal Canadian kids do. And then at 12 years old, I got back into it because U13s, you can do hitting. So my dad's like, "Do you want to play rugby again?" And I'm like, "Ah, sure. Is it flag or can I hit?" And he's, "Oh yeah, no, you can hit." So I was like, "Okay." So I jumped back into that and then started playing on like just as casual. It was like a summer sport because like I was still so committed to hockey. Like I was going all through. I was just so focused on hockey, and my family's big on hockey. Like my cousin plays professionally for the Montreal Canadiens. My cousin has played high level. My other cousin, like his brother Nolan, has played high level. Like we're a family of hockey players, and my dad and both of his brothers played high level hockey. So like realistically, my career path or what my passion was hockey. So that's kind of what I was full force in. So played U13s, 2 years of U15s, and then U17, U18, like kind of climbed up the rankings. And then I kind of didn't fully fall in love with rugby and take it as like a serious sport until I was 15. So my grade 10 year, and when I first found out that I could possibly make Alberta, U16s, and then be part of the national thing, like up in Canada, where it's BC, Alberta, Ontario, the Rock, and Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and Labrador tournament, and that's kind of where you get selected for Canada camps. But I did that, made the team, and came all the way through, and then I was like second choice. Like I was a backup, like played some game minutes here and there, did well, but I still wasn't fully like immersed in the game. Like it wasn't like, I'm just playing this because I can and I was good enough. And then literally that winter after my U16 year, I was moving into the U18s, and then I kind of found out in hockey I wasn't really going anywhere. Like I was playing like good level hockey, like double A in grade 11, 10, 11, 12, and then played my last year of hockey in grade 11, and then also did my first year U18s and got to start, and it kind of built from there. And I was just fully committed, immersed in the winter. And then I quit hockey in my grade 12 year of high school, and then that's kind of when I fully fell into it. And rugby, where it was my passion to put on the rep the Canadian jersey, play provincial rugby, and then kind of fully immerse myself into that. And then after that, it kind of built. I got my first year in U18 Canada, then U19 Canada, then U20s, and then kind of where it kind of came through. And then I would probably say my grade 12 year of high school was the year that I finally was like, I want to make this a career. I want to make this a passion, because 2 years after that, my high school year, the MLR got introduced. So it was kind of a whole nother level of just not just playing for your national team, but now there's a path for us Canadians or Americans, like our North American based players. We have like now an outlet and an opportunity to play professionally, because the probability of a Canadian or American at that time playing professional was so small. Like unless you were a DTH Vandermerva, Jeff Hassler, Sam Noah, Joe Tafatea, like there was just so little of like North American players that were so good enough to play in that leagues, And so there was a kind of like the unicorns of North American rugby and like the real superstars and all that type of stuff. So to have that outlet, it was just kind of like, okay, now I can push for something more. Like playing for national team would be sick, but now like I can have the professional aspect and the national aspect. And so it kind of was a driving force in that. So that was kind of the main reason why I decided to pursue it as a career.
Man, you hit all the
So
nails. You nailed it. Like that was like, wow.
yeah,
Okay. Mom and dad were in rugby. That's how they met. And here's our
yeah.
cub. See you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I was actually the mistake. The funny enough, if you saw the Fox interview and I was talking to her, I was a mistake. It wasn't planned. But my mom always said the greatest mistake she ever made, and my dad shakes his head otherwise. He's like, ruined my life. But no, it was kind of one of those things where it's just like end all be all, and then it was honestly written into the stars at that point. Like whether it was hockey, I think I just didn't know it yet, but rugby was probably like if I wasn't gonna go far in hockey, rugby was gonna be that next sport for me, and it kind of just showed. And like, I don't know. And I guess another point I left out, rugby too. Like the best thing about it is like the place I've been able to travel and the people I've been able to meet has been 10 times more memorable and has been had 10 times bigger impact on my life than anything. Like playing the sport is obviously a given and it's a greatness and it's obviously a privilege, but having the ability to travel the world and meet new people, different cultures, different like everything, like I have friends all over the world now. And that's kind of made it like, why not keep playing the sport if I can have this opportunity to travel and meet new people that I would never even think of meeting or having in my life. So I was kind of those things. There's just so many other things other than the game itself where it kind of made a huge impact on like maybe I can, even if I don't play professionally, maybe if I don't play for the national team, just all these hypotheticals, I was able to like I can travel here, play there, meet people here, and then create lifelong membership memories and stuff like that. Where it's kind of where like some stuff that money can't buy, where you'll just live with forever. Like money can buy a lot of things, but money can't buy happiness and money can't buy memories. So that's kind
Ah,
of where
no,
I'm at. Where that.
spot on, man. Spot on. It's funny because like some people that I know that have a lot of dough, they're miserable humans. And then some people, the best part, especially learning all these people in rugby, like you said, some of them they're just like us, as candid and smart aleck and all that jazz. But yet they just have more zeros in their bank account. They'll come up and chest bump you and like, "What's up, MF? What's up?" And they'll have fun.
Hey, man.
But you love those
Yeah, it's
guys,
just
and
like that's the thing.
people themselves, which we're about to go to. I'm about to head off to a certain place that last time I was there, I told off an owner. So we'll see how it goes. But you know
Yeah,
what?
that was a great story. I still can't believe you're going into
More
enemy territory there, Matt.
pardon,
100%. 100%. No, couldn't agree more.
right? Some people are just
Like
amazing.
you said, man. No,
Sorry, didn't mean to go on
100%. Couldn't agree more.
a tangent there, but like, oh man, I'm on that team. I'm on that team. He's hitting it. He's hitting it. Oh man, okay. It's too good. Like I just want to go. I want to let my mouth fly, but I'm like, okay, no. I think kids will be watching this. It's probably not the best thing to do for me. Stuff already slips out of my
It's
mouth.
okay.
I try and watch it.
Hey, man. The greatest thing ever, too, is the great thing about rugby is that it's a massive drinking culture. So the greatest thing, if something comes out, you're like, sorry, I had too many of these bad boys. You know how it is.
Oops. Can you share a moment in your career that stands out that was challenging and how you overcame it?
I have
Like
many of
maybe,
those. My whole life, my whole sporting career, honestly, like not even rugby has been a hardship. Like I have never ever been given anything just because of just who I am or anything. Like I've had to work for every single thing I've ever had to accomplish. I think not like I know a lot of people in the world and a lot of people in sports have had definitely harder, but I think like I've gone through more barriers and more speed bumps in my playing career than I think many people could say they have. And it just comes down to I just honestly like a lot of people like to say quotes and this and go off like, oh, just drive, commitment and stuff. But like my story with that is like it was the year 2021 and it was my last year at Pride and I left the program and this is when I was living on the island, fully immersed in the Rugby Canada system, was carded, the sevens and 15s, was doing both, was fully immersed. And then I had a year where I got concussed. I was out for like 3, 4 months. And then COVID hit, and then we didn't know what was going on in the rugby landscape. And then we came back to training and with the Pride in 2020, 2021, and we were promised games and we literally trained for 6, 7 months and didn't play a single game. Like I literally was out from September of the third week of September of 2019 to 2021, haven't played a single game of rugby. Like I was out like because like just with the concussion, the COVID, and the just training, I haven't almost played a game in almost 3 years. And it was just really hard on me and it just took my mental toll. And it came to a point where when I left Pride in the May of 2021, I think, and went home. I literally told my parents and I told everybody, like I said, I'm done. Like I just mentally and physically, I was just so fatigued with rugby, and it just like it felt like I was doing so much but wasn't getting anything getting anything back. Which again, that's life, and that's just kind of where you can't just like cry on someone's shoulder and bicker about it and let it hold it over your head and stuff like that. You just got to move on. And I kind of felt at that point there was time for me to pack it in and leave it all behind me. So literally from May on, I just did nothing. I literally was retired. I told everyone like I just packed it in. My career was over. I was ready to move on with life. And literally in December of 2021, going into 2022, I got this phone call from Frankie Horn, one of the spring Blitzbox Sevens legends, to go out, live, and train in California and San Clemente full time. And at that time, I was like, also COVID, like the lockdowns were still going crazy, and I was just in my head. I was like, like I'm done with this. And I was talking to my parents, and they're like, Brock, it's just like you're not doing anything. Like you're not applying for the police force, the fire department yet. You're kind of just working and just like chilling. And you've honestly, my parents, like you've been kind of miserable, and we can tell that you miss playing, you miss the game. You kind of, we can definitely tell that you just did it because you were fatigued. It wasn't actually a love or a want that you wanted. It was the fact that you just felt like the world was weighing you down and you're just like, I just wanted to pack it in because life sucked. So I guess you're right. So I was like kind of sat on it for a week, message him. I was like, yeah, can you give me some time? He's like, yeah, no, all good. And also the thanks to Rob McDowell, who's been a huge inspiration and huge help for me in my playing career. He was one of the main reasons why he got in contact with me, Frankie, is that he put my name forward. So a big shout out for Rob McDowell and obviously Frankie Horn and the Rhinos. Because they pretty much rejuvenated my career because I went over there with no expectations, nothing. I was a little chubby. I was literally just a gym rat. I was working. I was like 200 pounds. Like I literally just became this fully immersed into normal society of just gymming and just living life and eating food and drinking beer. Like just, and I told Frankie that too. I was like, by the way, like I will not be in seven shape. And he literally told me, he's like, don't worry about it, man. We'll get you in shape. And oh my God, did he? I went from like 200 pounds to like 181 by the end of the summer from sevens. Yeah, like I was probably in the best shape and literally like with rhinos and like all the constant training, professional like system that they had over there and the top of the top end coaches pretty much rejuvenated my career. And like I was fully immersed in the sevens. And then the next year after that, I got a call from the Dallas Jackals with Kuka and all of them, and they were interested in me. And then that's how I kind of got introduced. And that's actually my buddy who I play with now in the Seals, DeWalt coach. They actually put my name forward for them at the end of the season of that year when Dallas, I think they won one game, 1 or 2 games, and they were asking for a nine, a domestic nine that was good. And he was like, I know somebody, and he's been playing sevens for the last 2 years professionally in the PR and all that other stuff. And he's just been playing over in California and kind of got my name. That's kind of where it all came through. And it all came from us. All came from a random phone call from Frankie Horn and help from Rob McDowell that revitalized my career because I went from something where I just didn't have any pressure on myself, and I went in over there to California and lived out there and played some probably the best to this day. I think probably the best rugby in my career, even in sevens. And I was involved with the Giltinis program too, and I was played two stellar games for them. And I was actually with in talks with the coaches, and they wanted to sign me after the academy season and be part of the Giltinis program for the next season coming up. But unfortunately, we know what happened in that year when they folded, so that opportunity got dragged away. But then I just came back for another year with Rhinos and did another PR sevens and had another good year, and had a really fun year. And then it ended up turning into me going to the Jackals. So it's kind of the
Right.
whole story and the whole background of myself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was unorthodox. So that was probably the biggest moment, honestly. It was long, but that was like honestly the biggest, hardest moment of my life that turned into like probably the greatest outcome. I had to go through a lot of pain, uh, a lot of dishonesty towards myself, and a lot of failure, and pretty much just quit to fully get back into something that I truly love and wanted to get back into, and just had to wait. It was a waiting game, and honestly, I lucked out. Not a lot of people get that opportunity. I know a lot of people that go under the radar and stuff. And obviously, a lot of people want to say, oh, just keep working, keep driving. And quotes are great and giving motivation is great. But at the end of the day, words are just words. And sometimes it takes a little bit of luck. And that's a sad truth. Sometimes someone else as fortunate as me won't get that opportunity. And I'm lucky too. And I made every opportunity count that I was given to show that I did belong. And I made sure to not put that opportunity that I was given and waste it. And that's just kind of thing that you got to do, whether you get it now or when you're 30 or when you're 35. You just, if it comes, it comes. If not, just be prepared for the next chapter in your life. And that's kind of where I was at. But I got given a lifeline and I took it. So, but that's purely off luck and knowing good people and people that had my back. So that's kind of how. Because if those people were in my life, it wouldn't have happened. I would still be back home, and I wouldn't be where I'm at. So
That's
that's the honest truth.
I, I didn't. I'm so glad you did. No, this is such a good story, bro. Like, I don't think anybody knows about that jazz. I've never heard that from you before. And wow, I mean, it's heartfelt. I'm over here, like, thinking of how I would be in your shoes. And at that age, I can really see where you go through those moments of, like, the world's not giving me what I'm giving it. So, like, F bomb it, And I can see where you'd have a chip on your shoulder in all sincerity. Because we all get it. You're going to get it again, no matter what. But good attitude, way to come up and out of it, man. Like, wow, come up and out of it with your shit-eating grin, 99% of the time on your face. By the way, which man,
So I'm stuck in it. It's like a permanent thing, man.
well, fake it till you make it, if all else, right? So, like, the attitude is always
Yeah.
good. It's fun to watch, man, because you're a personable guy, and then for you to, like, smile and be involved, and, like, you're back into rugby, bro. Like, let's be honest, like, you're full on in. You're probably deeper now than you ever been before because of that
No,
experience.
100%. Like I wouldn't have the caps for my country that I did without it. I wouldn't be having the caps I have in the MLR after these 2 years. I'm just very grateful, and I just don't take any opportunity that I'm given. And I make sure to make most of it. That's all you got to do is to get given the opportunity. If you mess it up, you got to live with that. It's life. Unfortunately, that's life. That's not even just in rugby. That's just in life itself. Like you get given opportunities, and if you screw it up, then sorry, you got to hope for the next one, or it might never come, and then you got to move on. And that's reality, and that's kind of where I wish more people brought that into like perspective, because everyone has hardship. Everyone has the woe me moments. It just depends on how you react to it. I personally still am not the greatest at reacting. I'm a very emotional, super passionate person, and it has gotten me in trouble before with people. But at the end of the day, I'll never change who I am. I'll never change the way I react. In a way, I'll change the way I react in a way where it only affects me and not others. I've gotten way better with that. But at the end of the day, I'm a super passionate, super emotional person. And that's what honestly makes me such a scary player and makes me such a great teammate as well. Is that regardless of the fact is that I want to be on the field. I want to be doing what I love every single day of every single minute of every single like month, week, year that I can, as long as I can, until my body gives out, because you only get one life and you only get one opportunity. And when you're not given the opportunity to perform or show your skill set and you belong, it's frustrating. and I'm not a person to hide that. But at the same time, like I'll never put it into a part where I put myself over a team or a group of players or anyone like that. But it's within my right and my ability to be emotional, and it's also within my ability to show how competitive I am and know how where my skill set stands and that how valuable I think I am and what I can bring to the table. And so it kind of like I said with the hardship and the story that I had, like it brought a lot of good in me, but it also brought a lot of I guess not bad, but it kind of got me like a little bit of habits where I need to perform better in the ways I react. But from where I was 4 years ago to now, like old Brock would be like freaking causing a ruckus. So
Uh, that's awesome. Well, here let's show them a clip of you scoring in Rugby Town. Let's do that.
A fake from
good old
Gallagher has
highlight.
pierced his way through. He is absolutely magic. 3 times the hat trick hero, and BC Bears well on their way to claiming Shield honors.
That was good.
Man,
So
that clip.
good.
Man, that was the seal of the deal, man. That was the last game of the tournament, final game against Germany, and that was my third try. I scored all 3 tries for us in that game, and I was so bagged. I was literally looking at Robin on the sideline. I'm like, man, I can't go on. I played the whole 14 minutes, and we're playing D. If you watch the whole clip, they have the game back in the archives. But like, you can literally see at the end when they knock it on, or I forget how we won it. But like, I'm literally in the corner, like walking to like defensive shape. I was so dead. But like, it was that was like honestly a highlight because like being able to like I had a good tournament overall, but like we had went through some hardships, and we were kind of like a team of misfits in a way with that team, and it was just good to cap it off that way with a win, especially in the final game against the German development side, which a lot of guys ended up playing on the circuit a couple times and moving on to other tournaments. So it was a good test for us and good test for me, and it was one of my first major tournaments in sevens after a long hiatus from rugby and sevens itself because I was still committed to 15s at the time. And also ended up capped off with a nice little good little kiss to the fans in the stands to end it off. So
So good. So good. All right, Brock, tell me, what does a typical week of training and preparation look like during the season?
uh it goes in like segments. So the start of the year, we had just typical. If it's a Saturday game, it goes Monday, Tuesday. Monday is usually an install day. It's pretty chill, laid back. Like it's mostly like runners. Even like I always train in cleats because I just traction, just shit like that. So like it was more of an install day. Like we either install new plays or new moves, or going over the same plays, same moves, and just kind of getting them down pat, learning the lay of the land, and just like kind of trying to like fine tune. Say something we made a mistake in at a game prior, or we just missed the jump on something. It's just about install light, getting the limbs moving after say you got a game on Saturday, travel Sunday if it was a away game, but just get the legs moving again. And then a Tuesday training is a little bit more of a defense or attack focus. It kind of switches, varies. And where it's a little bit more intense, the intensity gets jacked up a bit. It's a little bit like level 2, level 3 physicality. It's not like you're belting anybody, but it's more like high paced install type of format where you're running through your moves at a higher pace. You're going with more intent. Defense is giving a little bit more of like a kind of a push, a shoulder on, kind of making a little bit of a ruckus at the ruck. And then again, going into more units and a little bit like where they end up tail end or the start of the session will be more unit work where it's forwards do line out scrums and then backs do scrum launches, line out launches, kind of little one-on-one defense work or something like that. Whatever we need fine tuning from that said past week that we kind of needed to clean up or just kind of fine tune. Then Wednesday off. Then Thursday is kind of an up week. Like I think it's probably if it's not Tuesday, Thursday it can be a little bit higher, fast paced, shorter, but it's like the intensity is raised where it's like full speed, and it'll either be the team selected to travel or to play in the home game will go up against the scouts, and then it'll be more less physical, but like a lot faster. Like transitions quicker, going from drill to drill or going from block to block. It's a lot quicker. Like it's you get your water and then you're going again and you're just running through plays again. You're going full tilt on attack or on defense against the scout. And then a couple of little skill things at the start of it, obviously, and then warm up. But like that's kind of more Thursday, and then Friday, if it's a home game, you'll have like a captain's run where you've been to and you've come and helped and come and chatted with us and hung out for a bit, or if we're traveling, then that travel Friday will be a travel day, and then we play the next day. Um, but that was like the start of the year, but now the last like 5 or 6 weeks of the season, like it's just more about not running us dead and just managing our load because injuries creep in, which we've had a few and we've had some come up and stuff. And it's just a managing load by also getting the best of what we can in training. So Monday, like since games change now in the MLR where it's either Friday or Saturday or Sunday, so it varies. So it's not always a Monday, Tuesday. So if it's a Sunday game, it might be Monday off and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, Friday training, and then Saturday travel or Saturday captain's run game Sunday. Or if it's a Friday, it's Monday, Tuesday off, and then Wednesday, Thursday train, captain, and then game Friday. So it changes. So you can't put it like it's not consistent, but for majority of this year at least, we had a lot of Saturday games. So usually what I said at the start is kind of how our formation and how our scheduling has gone. So it's been quite easy. But the last 4 to 5 weeks, we've had mostly like after games, like a Sunday game or Saturday. We'll have 2 days off. Like we'll be like Monday, Tuesday off, train Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and then to home game, captain Saturday, game Sunday, or something like that. But it's more like Mondays are install, but it's like walking. Like it's literally like it's probably the chillest training session ever. You're just going through it, all the plays, like walking speed, nothing higher than 50, 60, 55%. And then you do a little bit of indies. And if you didn't get a lot of game time or you didn't play, you do a little bit of fitness stuff, but that's just it's whatever. And then Tuesday you ramp it up a little bit faster, a lot as physical. Um, and then same thing if it's a game on Sunday, uh, Thursday off, Friday training, which will be like a harder one where it's just like full tilt, full contact almost, where you're just running full tilt, putting yourself under pressure, and then captain Saturday, game Sunday. So, but it's pretty chill. Like it's relatively just managing the body and making sure injuries don't creep up or injuries get any worse than what they are, or you know, recovery. So it's been very chill the last 4 or 5 weeks. We've been managed very well by the staff.
It's making a difference. Whatever it is, it's
So.
succeeding. I mean, it's making a big difference. At
Yeah,
least
going from
outside.
how we started to the way we finished. So it is, and that's the one thing that it needs to be used because a lot of times rugby seasons are so long and you got so many players you got to cycle through. You got to use every player. You got to make sure that guys don't get soft tissue injuries. Matt, like management is huge, like just as far as training goes, usage of players, and having that's why you get so many players on a roster so that you can cycle through and then give players time and then rest other players or give guys opportunities to show their stuff, which obviously in the MLR can not really be the most accurate, or it doesn't happen a lot in the MLR, which I think is something that goes under, like it's something that should be more used, but that's just my personal like preference on it. But it's been overall good for us and our team because it's been a long and it's been a hard season. Physical too, because the MLR gets just more physical and more skill for every year. Like it's not getting any easier, and we're not becoming one of those leagues where it's just old players come here to end their career. It's starting to become a league where you see a lot of guys come and they're trying to help develop and put a huge stamp and grow the game in North America, because from the year one to year now, like the skill level and the physicality, like you would never picture it to be like and grow this fast, and it's starting to catch eyes, and it will only catch more eyes too leading to the 2031 World Cup when US hosts. I'm expecting a Japan type level almost, or growth. Whereas when Japan hosted the World Cup in 2019 and how it boomed their professional league over there and the culture and like the eyes in rugby, I could see that doing it here because a lot of people may know the game now, but when that World Cup flows through and have all these countries, nationalities, and all these skills and like all these like what's this going to these games and seeing what it can bring at its peak, fans are gonna be like, new fans are gonna be like, oh my god, like this is a sport I want to get myself involved in. And then the money rate revenue goes up, players get paid more, and then it just grows the league, and then just next thing you know, becomes a full on like almost top level where it comes to French, the English league, Irish league, Super Rugby, where you can make more coin and make it a long lasting career. It's kind of like a lot of us guys in the MLR and who've been here from the start and to now, we're more like pioneers because we got to go through the hard times and help grow this game from the ground up so that our future generation, I don't even think will be in my time, that it'll happen, but we want to grow the game and help it grow so fast, and not just in fans, revenue, contracts, like stuff like that. We want it so that players 5, 10 years time can see the MLR as a league where like they can retire and not have to worry about working, you know?
Amen, man. Couldn't agree more with you. Like, that's exactly why we're doing this, right? That's why you're doing your part. I'm trying to help do on my part, trying to create a podcast, make people know that like rugby is a thing out here in America, and we're excited about it. And in the Northwest also, like, you know, because like PNW, people think of us as South Alaska, which is, it's fine. I get it, because it's not real convenient to get to comparably. But know that rugby is here and it's here to stay. No matter if it's at the highest level or not, rugby is here to stay in America. That's just a fact. But I
Yeah,
love
100%.
you towards it and understanding that you're a pioneer, because like it's kind of goes back to that part that we were talking about earlier in the conversation where you're given a lot but you're not getting a lot, and it's kind of one of those like years from now we'll both be drinking a pint giggling about it, being like, you remember that shit.
Do you remember making the pretty pennies and enjoying the lifestyle, but realistically not the lifestyle? You know, it's kind of one of those
Yeah,
things. 100%. But that's where I say, fucking money can't buy memories, and that's
yeah,
okay for us guys now. Like like the guys that got to get the short end of the stick in this league to make it what it will could and be hopefully become in future in 5, 10 years time. That to me matters more because when I start having kids, like if they go into rugby again, you know, you never know what they choose. Could my kid could be a future NHL player, which would be great because then I don't have to fucking work and they can retire me
yeah,
forever. You know, that type of shit. Like every parent's dream. Yeah. But if my kid chooses my path that I had, where he chooses rugby, I really hope the MLR comes to a point where you can look at it and be like, there's good money there, and it's a good league, and you can be competitive, and you can live a happy life. And that's just that's the way it goes. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm so happy and so grateful for the position I'm in, regardless of what you get paid and how the contracts work or how the league is, because it only just gets better year by year. You just got to go through the rough patches, and a lot of guys like the Reichert Haddings and all those guys that started from the start,
yeah,
you got to give a lot of
yeah,
props and respect for them because they came when the league was so raw and was like so like what is going to happen is to be the next pro league in America that falls after a year and a half, 2 years after the last one that happened that didn't, you know. But the MLRs, like you said, Matt, like it's rugby's here to stay, and it's good because the guys that started from the start and are still playing and still putting their hand up and showing what this league can do and produce, those guys, like I said, the pioneers, like the guys that deserve all the credit in the world. And hopefully in 5 to 10 years time, regardless of when they hang up the jersey and pass it on, that they don't get forgotten because the league wouldn't be where it is without those guys. So
heck yeah, man. I love that. Yeah. And by the way, you got 5 to 10 years in you still, by the way. So I hope to see you're still renting the jersey in 5 years at least.
fuck, man, that'd be the dream, man. But I guess we'll see because the missus is gonna be a hell of a lot more mad at me if I gotta keep spending majority of a relationship away. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Hey man, I live my rugby career 1 year at a time. As bad as I want to play forever,
Do it.
sometimes you do have to just let life. You gotta let life take over, and sometimes you just gotta step away when it regardless of it. I think now I'll be at a point in my life where I can, and I'll never regret it because I'm a person that I can't live with regrets. I'd rather go through the shit and all that type of stuff and have those moments than look back when I'm 40 and be like, I'm fucking miserable. Why? Because I'm living off something that I regretted when I was 27. 'Cause
Facts.
that will age me and kill me faster than fucking any disease or any gun or car in the world will ever kill me. Like living with regret is the worst because you can't go back. Unfortunately,
It's perfect because
there's
that's
no Uno reverse card in life. You can't just turn it.
no, no. There's no take backs. Oh, this is perfect because
So, but no,
that
man.
makes the next question with you is like, how do you handle the mental and physical, demands of playing rugby at the highest level, professional?
Um, for me personally, and there's another thing where I'm not very like closed off and ignorant to a part. Like I'm the only way I'm able to do what I do is because of my family. Like they love what I do and they love the fact that I'm pursuing this because they know what I make. They know how the league runs. They know how my life works because I play for 6 months out of the year, but then there's no cash flow past that. That's just kind of the way the MLR works, which is again not a problem to me. But like I get to come home. I get to live at home for free. My parents don't let me pay a dime. They give me a life where I can continue to do what I do with no stress. I go home and work. I literally rack up all the money I make, and then it pays off my bills while I'm here. And then I just keep adding on, and every year I just make more money, and then it's just a big savings. And then I can come here to the U.S. and live my dream and keep continue to do what I do because I have a great family base. But I know personally, and I know a lot of people in my life that don't have that, where they are living paycheck to paycheck in the MLR, but they still love doing what they're doing, but they got to send money back home. They got to do stuff that they can't leave behind because, again, despite them being here, the life is still going on back there, and they got bills. They got bills to pay, rent and shit. And so, like in my position, I'm very grateful, and I'm able to do what I do stress free because of my family thing. But I'm also understand not a lot of people do have that. So it's different for every athlete, different person, because it's just again, it comes from their backgrounds, family lifestyle, what they got going on back home. But for me, like I ain't got much to complain about. Like I get to come here stress free, train every day, live the life, and do what's right for me and do what's right for the team without much stresses from back home. Because honestly, that's like honestly the biggest major factor, especially for guys from the MLR, because they're leaving their families, leaving from all over the world to come here and play. And they are leaving behind stuff that we don't, us as players and teammates may never know. We never know what's going on behind closed doors, and it's different. And it'd probably be different if you asked someone else on the team that's from South Africa what's going on there. They'd probably say, it's a little bit more difficult. You just keep driving and believe, and obviously faith and stuff like that. But for me, like I give all the fact that I can keep on maintaining what I do physically and mentally is because of my family. If I didn't have that family base, I honestly probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the kid that had the opportunity to come back to rugby and you rejuvenate my career 4 years ago in California and shit like that. That wouldn't be happening. I'd be working
Yeah.
normal because I would have to pay for stuff. I'd probably be renting out a 1 bedroom apartment by myself, moving out, like paying for shit that I don't have to pay for that I do now. Like I am very grateful and very fortunate that I have it good. I have a lot of greatness because of my mom and my dad and my sister and my grandparents. I have that. And I make sure to make every moment count. And that's when I say when you take opportunities, you got to make the most of it because there's people in the background that helped you get there and you don't want to let them down in the process. And where a lot of guys here are motivated because they come from hardship and still live a hard life and stuff like that, but they come here every day because they love it and they go through the shit piss and all that type of stuff to be here and continue to fight through. So that's like one thing I am not a good example because of where I come from and how my life is right now, which I'm very grateful for. But I give a lot of respect to the guys that don't have what I have and that opportunity to just live life stress free in a way. The only stress I have is literally rugby and performing and doing well in training. That's literally the only stress I have right now because of what I have back home. But other guys don't have that, and so I'm sure it's different. But that's kind of how I go about it. But I give all the props to the guys that don't have what I have. So
No, it's about what you have right now. It's about you right now, bro. Because like it's fun to hear about how strong you are with your family. Because not everybody has that, and it's not it's not a dig on them or anything. Just positive on you, but that's super cool. You respect your parents so much, especially in your 20s, as we all tend to be rebels without a cause in our 20s at times.
I'm the complete opposite, man. I'm such a mama's boy and shit like that. I love my like honestly, like I'm so grateful for like the family I have and my parents because fuck, I'd be so lost without my mom and my dad. Like it's crazy. Like I'm not much of a person that gets like spoon fed and my ass wiped, but holy shit, did they ever wipe my ass throughout my life and still continue to this day and stuff. So without they're my anchor, man. Fuck, like if without them, I'd be a lost ship at sea, man. I'd be stranded. So
Love it. All right, so we're gonna break up the questions. I'm gonna throw another one of these up there. Let's watch you score again, shall we?
Up by 20. Dominant here tonight. Gallagher on the gallop. Yona works to the outside. Excellent passing. Comes there for Matthews. Pass for Gallagher. All by himself. Gallagher knocks it down. 5 more on the board for Seattle.
that's one of my favorites, man. That game was so good. Get given up the opportunity to play a whole half and show my skill set finally and show what I can do and what a danger man I can be and my speed and pace around the game. It's a good one. It's one of my favorites for sure so far.
And I've been having fun watching you, dude. Every chance you're on that pitch, man, it's like, what's he gonna do now? I'm excited to see what happens. Like, because you just bring a little magic to it, bro. You do, you really do. You bring magic to it. You're surrounded by some incredible other scrummies, of course. You just happen to be the young blood of them all, but man, it's not for lack of skill set, bro. I like watching you play so much, but.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I like being. I'm not much of a highlight reel. Sometimes I like to be, but I just love bringing pace and speed to the game because that's just how I live. Like I just love being quick. I love playing a step ahead. I like playing on top of things. I'm not much of a chill type of scrum half where it's just like, oh, we'll kick, we'll calm down and shit like that. Where it's needed, there are times where I have to pull that out of the toolkit. But at this most of the time, I want to fucking run. I want to pass. I want to keep going. Because if we make a line break, I'm on your ass. I'm on your inside. I'm coming on the support lines. Like I thrive off that shit. Like that's just where I want to make damage and around the rucks. I play my game. A Brock at his best is a Brock in a free flow where I'm just running free, doing my thing, finding holes, finding gaps, and creating space, but at pace. Because if speed kills. If you can't keep up, man, you're gonna get left in the dust. So that's what I try to do, man. I try to put people. I try to do it. Let it fly. That's how I like to do it, man. Just fucking live free, let it fly.
It's fun to watch. I know that it's fun to watch, and then of course Scrummy being rowdy. What? Never heard of such a thing, right? Heavy heart,
Nah,
heavy
man, we're the
sarcasm,
most calm, cool, collected people ever.
right? But
We
like
don't
an
chat enough shit. That's the problem.
tell me, bro. Like, so
Fuck.
like we touched on it in the last few questions and interactions. Like, what advice would you give a younger player aspiring to be a professional rugby player?
Well, there's always the good old stereotypical just don't give up, keep working stuff. But honestly, it's one of those things like if an opportunity comes your way, it honestly, it's not to be like deter you or stress you out, but you have to take the opportunity. I don't care what you do on your own personal time, whether that's to perfecting your craft, training, or anything, or play video game. Like there's it that comes down to you as an individual and as a person. No one else can help you do that. Unfortunately, people say like, oh, it's the family and friends, which I just talked about. But at the end of the day, what you do as a person and what you do within your own self, you need to lock in whether you really want it and you really want to put your time and work and life towards something, you got to put it towards. But at the end of the day, whether you worked for it, whether you didn't work for it, if you get given an opportunity in anything, not even just rugby, anything in life, if someone hands you something and you take it, you better make the fucking most of it because that opportunity will never come again. And that's the thing that happened to me. Like I said, I got lucky. Because at the end of the day, if that opportunity didn't come, I would not be where I am. And that's not because I wasn't skilled enough. It wasn't because I didn't put enough time in and work in, because I did. I did everything I could to be the best player and be a professional athlete, be a national team player that I could. And that was just me as a person, what I put upon myself. But at the end of the day, I got unlucky and I fell against the cracks. And then that's how it ended up me retiring. But at the same time, 6 months later, I got given an opportunity that ended up revitalizing and rejuvenating my career. So if you're fortunate enough and lucky enough to get given that opportunity, for the love of God, just take it. Regardless if you mess up or fail, you'll love yourself 10 times more as a person and as a athlete that if you took it and did what you could with what you were given than not taking it at all. And so and it's one of those things too, like end of the day, life sucks and you won't actually get what you want. And if that opportunity comes and it doesn't work out for you, never stop giving up on anything. And that's not past rugby, life, your career, school, work. It matter. It's literally not just a rugby thing. Inspiring to be a professional rugby player. It's just like you should inspire to be a professional person because if you're a professional person, it'll take you so much further in rugby, life, work, school because it works all in all facets of life. So if there's any, and if so to like put it in a small form, I would just if you get given an opportunity, you got to take it. Don't live with regret.
Well said, man. Well said. I like that, man. Well, to finish up,
Just straight up, man.
no, you're very like G is what I would word it as because of I'm a kid from the late '80s and '90s. I would say like you're just a matter of fact, bro. Like you're a G. Like I appreciate it. It's very direct, and if the kids don't understand it, well, they can definitely ask their dad on what he means by that.
Yeah, and I'm open line, man. I'm an open book. If you want to add me on Facebook and message me like, what the hell are you talking about? I'll tell you. Like I honestly,
Right?
I'm so easy to get to, and like I don't shy away from anything. Either I know you or I don't. Um, I'm not the type of person to hide myself and ignore you. You know, I got all the time in the world. It may come in a couple days because, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
not on social media a lot, but I'll always respond. I'll always be an open link. Always be an open link.
You heard it here first, kids. Like reach out to Brock. He's fun. He wants to help, and if he can help motivate you, get a foot right in the keister, he's going to help you verbally do that.
Yeah. Try, man. But you may not like it. Like I said, my girlfriend tells me one thing. It's like it's either your way or the highway. And she says, "You're not an asshole. You're just direct." And I'm like, "That's true."
Everybody knows how to deal with that. Nah, it's fun. Another reason why I appreciate you, sir. So, who are you thankful for in your rugby journey? Shout outs coming out.
The list is long.
None,
Obviously, I've said it enough.
short or long.
No, man. So obviously, there's two main ones. My mother and father. Again, two rugby fanatics themselves. I wouldn't have found this game and been involved in this game without them. My dad was my first and only ever rugby coach growing up. He coached me in U12s, U15s, U18s, U21s. He was my rugby coach all through my life, which again can be tough. Your dad being your sports coach, it can go one of two ways. Him and I bashed heads a lot. I will say it wasn't the easiest relationship between him and I. But at the end of the day, I want to be the player and person and the man I am today without him and my mom as well. My mom's been my rock and just not even rugby, but in life. Like I said, I'm a mama's boy. I talk about my mom about everything. Message her when I'm pissed and I'm rattled. She's the one that calms me down. And she gives it to me straight. And so that's kind of one of the two main ones. Obviously, my sister, my grandparents, they're up there. Big shout out to Rob McDowell at McDowell Rugby. He's been a huge saving grace for me and been a real, not just like a mentor, but a really good friend of mine. And he's a fucking stellar man, stellar coach, and he's done so well for the game in Canada and just in life. The guy's a fanatic, the guy's a freak at what he does. Obviously, all my friends, my rugby friends, my really close ones, they've been a massive help for me in rugby, just as again, like his teammates and all that type of stuff, and guys that keep me motivated. And another one is to San Clemente Rhinos. Derek and Andre are big help for me in my rugby career, giving me the opportunity to do what I did in California. And another major one who I got so much love and time for, and who made me and like, it was tough love. Trust me, it was tough love with him. But Frankie Horn, man, he was a big part of my rejuvenation of my career, and he was one of the guys that gave it to me straight. You know, like what didn't sandbag it, didn't tell me, didn't weave around corners. He was either easy way, it was either the hard way or the hard way. There was no easy way with him. It was just like either you do what you're told and do it right, or you pack your bags and go. You know, like it was one of those things. But I had so much respect for the guy, and he's been an amazing coach, and he's done so massive wonders for me in my career. Not only and honestly, not even just as a rugby player, but as a person. Like he changed me in so many ways where like he kind of came to me, like helped me realize that life does suck, and sometimes you're gonna get sometimes you're gonna be given what you want, and sometimes what you're given is taken, and you got to find ways to maneuver and figure it out after that. So those are the ones that come off the top of my head. There's a lot more that I can go through. Like every rugby coach I've been to is a new coach, a new eyes, new ears to my career. Give me new life. And I have a lot of respect, regardless if I like them or not. They were, and at the end of the day, they were either had a big impact in my career in one way or another, good or bad. Because honestly, bad ones are more like lessons, and if you don't go through those lessons, you never learn. And so I got a lot of respect for the coaches that I don't really like that much, but at the same time they helped me in my career regardless. Like they're still a person, they're still a human, and they still had an impact in a way. And people mess up, people make mistakes, but it's never about hating someone or holding a grudge. It's about realizing that it's just a lesson. It's not hardship. It's not personal. It's just a lesson. And So big shout out to all those like people in my life that I've also come across. Because it's the way it is. Everyone's different. But yeah, that's kind of where I leave it at.
I like it, man. No, it's good. There's no wrong answer, bro. And this has been great. I really appreciate you making time to chat with me and share your story and letting me guinea pig it, because obviously I've changed a couple of things and you let me do it. Like I like to always warn you, like, hey man, I'm green. I'm a rookie over here. So thanks for being patient with me, Brock.
Oh, of course, it's great. I'm sorry it took so long. I know we talked about this ages ago while getting on, but me being me, like just life and shit going on, like not much excuses, but it's great to finally fit that in because a lot of things that throughout the season's been tough. Went through a lot of hardship this season, still am and stuff, but I'm still enjoying the journey and still enjoying the time I'm have with here with my teammates and friends that I've made here in the life, and still putting my work in and hopefully adding to the team in many ways that I more than one, and also helping improve myself as a player. Um, but yeah, it's been great knowing you and coming across you as a person, not just like as a fan, and all the shit that we talk at the games and like all that type of stuff. It means a lot, because like I said, that's what rugby's all about. Money can buy, like, at the end of the day, like you and I will be connected in more ways than one once my rugby career is over. Like
Yeah,
there's a friend for life. Like, if you're ever up in my neck of the woods, if I'm ever back down here, or if I'm here for another year, or wherever my career may take me, or wherever it may be. Um, yeah, like it's just one of those things that you don't take for granted because it's a lot bigger. This is a lot bigger than the game. Because at the end of the day, the game will move on. It'll move past you. It'll forget about you. But shit like this will last forever. So it's been a blessing.
man, appreciate your sincerity, bud. Sincerely, unreal, unreal. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. We're just gonna phase out. Brock, thank you for your time,
Oh,
and
thank you, Maddie. I appreciate it.
we'll be doing another one of these. This is just our first one. We're just getting acquainted on this
Fuck.
whole video chat kind of thing, that you and I both have
100%.
mixed feelings on.
Wherever the hell I am, man, just shoot me a message like always, and we'll get on it, man. Like, you got a podcast member for life. It's like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. I don't know how many they have, or Theo Vaughn. They've got so many. It's just recycled bullshit, but it's so much fun and it's so good. So you just never let it die.
The next podcast will not have like all these questions ready to roll and getting to know you, or more than anything, just the fans getting to know you. It's going to be more of like, yeah, exactly, like the man, the
Just
myth,
broing out.
and we just kind of we'll bro out. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Oh, that'll be just fun as you know. But
No, that's
all right,
life. That's the fucking. That's
time,
what we live for.
yes, sir. Till next time.
Till
Love rugby? So does Matt. He is host of the Rugby 100 Club podcast, where Major League Rugby stars tell their stories. But it's more than a podcast, it's a passport. Rugby 100 Club builds epic fan trips to follow your team on the road. Game day tickets? Included. Tailgates and fan meetups? You bet. Unforgettable memories every single time. Rugby 100 Club, where fandom meets the road.